According to the opening text, the Great Wall of China is one of mankind's most enduring wonders. It covers approximately 5,500 kilometers and took over 1,700 years to construct. It has safeguarded the city from numerous threats, some of which are well known, while others are legends. This story is about one of those legends. The film begins with Khitan bandits riding across the desert. European mercenaries William Guerin and Pero Tovar hide out in a cave with 3 other men. The men are traveling in search of black powder. In the cave, a beast attacks the men. William kills the creature and cuts its hand in order to find someone who can identify it. William and Tovar ride approach the Great Wall and are attacked with arrows by Chinese troops of the Nameless Order. They are taken prisoner by the men, who show them the monster's arm. The soldiers reacted with terror. General Lin, General Shao, and strategist Wang interview the men about where they discovered the creature. When Lin asks why they are there, William lies and claims they came to trade but were ambushed. The soldiers are alerted to the presence of more creatures on their way towards the wall. The generals gather their army and march to the top of the wall, where William and Tovar remain imprisoned. Hundreds of monsters charge towards the wall, pushing the troops to fight. Lin and her warriors hang on the cords before descending to fight the creatures. As they begin to climb the wall, the other troops fire burning rocks and arrows at them. One monster gets to the top and begins tearing through the soldiers. William and Tovar are cut free and join the fight. They use a spear to defeat the monster, as the rest of the horde flees. William and Tovar earn the troops' respect and are permitted to remain as guests rather than prisoners. They encounter Ballard, another European who went in search of black powder but was also captured. Ballard understands that the men are in China for the same reason. The Nameless Order honors the men with a feast. There, William discovers that Ballard taught Lin and the other soldiers to speak English and Latin. William proudly displays his archery talents to the soldiers, much to the pleasure of the entire room. Lin shows William how she fights while hanging from the cord. She attempts to get William to try it, but he doesn't trust her enough to take the risk. At night, Ballard plans for himself, William, and Tovar to grab black powder and depart when the soldiers are distracted by conflict. William and Tovar speak with Wang about a magnetic stone William was using while he fought the creature on the wall. Wang informs the men about the legend of the Taotia monsters. 20 centuries ago, an emperor was driven by greed, thus the heavens sent a meteor that smashed into a mountain and unleashed the Taotia as punishment for humanity's greed. Moments later, the soldiers receive another alarm about a disturbance near the wall. The Taotia attacks the soldiers once more. Shao is killed during the fight. With his dying breaths, he leaves Lin in command. The generals receive a scroll from the capital, Bianliang, detailing the usage of magnetic stones to repel the Taotia. William advises that they capture and sedate one of the monsters to put this method to the test. In the midst of a thick fog, the soldiers prepare for another battle with the Taotia. During the fight, William assists Lin, and Tovar steps in to help him. The army successfully catch multiple monsters by using arrows on chains, but William climbs down a chain to ensure that at least one of those creatures doesn't get freed by another. Lin uses black powder rockets to attack the Taotia, forcing some of them to explode. After some while, William passes out. William awakens to find Lin by his side, having had his wounds treated. She confirms to him that the Taotia they ensnared was successfully captured. Lin inquires about the outside world and observes that men's greed is similar to that of the Taotia. The soldiers keep guard around the caged monster as it thrashes about. Wang holds several magnetic stones on a pole and hangs it near the monster's face. It retreats when it sees the stones. One lieutenant claims they must bring the beast to the emperor. William visits Tovar in his room to thank him for his assistance. Tovar believes William has abandoned him and their aim in order to become a Chinese hero. He warns William that he will be nothing but a liar. In response, William holds a knife to Tovar's throat in anger. Taotia movement is observed near the bottom of the wall. The soldiers go down to investigate and find a massive hole that the monsters created to get in. Meanwhile, Tovar and Ballard discover black powder buried in the walls. With the guards preoccupied, the two use some of the powder to make dynamite and blow open the door to the room containing the majority of the powder. William hears the explosion and discovers Tovar and Ballard stealing stuff. William claims he was a fool for his original mission, but Tovar encourages him to follow them. When that doesn't work, Ballard knocks William out and they leave. Fearing that nothing can stop the Taotia and knowing they only have a limited amount of time before an anticipated large-scale attack, the soldiers march towards Bianliang, the capital city. They present the emperor with the caged Taotia. Lin discovers a captured William and learns of his true intentions. She is furious and vows to murder him herself. Peng Yong, a teenage soldier, defends William and tells them that Tovar and Ballard took the powder. Lin orders William's detention while she and her troops pursue the other two. Tovar and Ballard are riding in the desert. Ballard leaves Tovar when he sees danger approaching. Tovar is taken by Chinese soldiers, while Ballard gets captured at night by Khitan bandits. They accidentally ignite his powder, blowing themselves and Ballard up. The army utilize hot air balloons to combat the Taotie over the city, but the balloons catch fire, causing several of the men to fall to their deaths. William is released from the cell and informed by Wang that the new goal is to assassinate the Taotie queen. William is ready to board a balloon with Wang when Peng Yong approaches and asks to join them. The emperor removes the magnetic stone from near the Taotie in attempt to gain control of the beast, but this awakens it and calls the other monsters to its place. Every army is flying high above the city while the Taotie wreak havoc. They burst out of buildings as troops fly overhead, retaliating. The majority of the city is in flames and ruins. As the monsters seek to approach the queen, the army fire arrows and more rockets at them. William, Wang, and Peng catch up to Lin as they notice the queen being guarded by thousands of Taotie. The heroes enter the palace and approach the emperor. Wang asks that they discover the captured monster and use it to kill the queen. The emperor informs them that the beast is within the dungeon. The army threw bombs at the monster and fed it meat to bring it to the queen. They travel down a subterranean canal while the rest of the creatures stay above ground. The Taotie crawls above them, attempting to snag them from above. Peng fights off the monsters but is injured in the process. He stays behind as the others keep pushing forward. Several monsters burst in and rush at Peng. He ignites some black powder and blows up both himself and the creatures. William, Lin, and Wang rush inside a tower to let the captured Taotie out. They fight it off with stones, and it rejoins the creatures. The three climb the tower to strike the queen. They obtain a good shot from the top of the tower and launch rockets at the queen, but she is covered by larger monsters with scales that deflect the rockets. Wang is at the bottom when the animals storm the tower and start attacking. Wang tosses Lin a stone just before he is killed. Before Lin launches the rocket, William tosses the stone into the queen's path. The rocket explodes, killing the queen and the rest of the Taotie. Lin gets promoted to regional general upon returning home. William is supposed to get a prize, but he chooses to free Tovar so that they may get back to Europe. William and Tovar reconcile, and they return home with a cavalry following after them for safety.